Hello, everybody, and welcome to Two Canadians Football Podcast. I'm your host, Matty P.
And I'm your co-host, C. Money.
And we are here to rock your brains.
Oh yeah, so let's get started.
Straight to the news. Javonte Williams, torn ACL, done for the season.
Yeah, that's a tough one for the Broncos, and I'm a Melvin Gordon holder, and so, I was kind of waiting for this, but at the same time, it also sucks because you never like seeing someone get hurt. But Melvin Gordon hasn't looked that good. Like, just as a unbiased observer and just watching them, Javonte Williams is definitely the better back, and it's always hard when a good player gets hurt like that. So it's too bad for him this year.
Lewis Cine of the Vikings, done for a bit, right?
Yeah, that one, it's apparently they're worried it could be career threatening. It's a compound fracture in the ankle. There might be some other damage too along with that. He had to get surgery in England. That's the other downfall for him, is that he's stuck overseas until he can start rehabbing a bit. So he had to have surgery there. He had 2 procedures done. Apparently a success, but I don't know how much you can really get from that. It's really, really hard for the Vikings to lose your first round pick to a brutal injury that could threaten his career. So hopefully he's able to come back next year, but he might even push into mid-season next year, or maybe even another year off.
Yeah, the Vikings just can't catch a break in the secondary, it seems.
Yeah. Well, Harrison Smith has been great for a while, but other than that, yeah, like filling in the rest of the positions around him. The cornerback one they've had a few spots here and there. Xavier Rhodes was good for a while, but outside of that, yeah, it's been a bunch of misses and tragedy and unfortunate circumstances and stuff like that. So
Jonathan Taylor rolled his ankle.
Yeah, big piece for Indy there. The biggest, I guess you could say. He's kind of been having a down year, though. That offensive line hasn't been pushing guys around the way that they have in the past. But you never want to see, pretty much a number 1 pick go down. For most leagues, it was either him or CMC that went number 1. So that's a tough one for any Jonathan Taylor owners. But he should be back, so there's that. It's not a season ender like Javonte Williams.
Yeah, the Colts are playing tonight against the Broncos, and he is not playing. He's sitting, but maybe next game or the game after he'll be ready to go.
Yeah. It's they're kind of being mysterious a little bit, because I've heard high ankle sprain and I heard it wasn't that bad, so could go 2 ways. I know those high ankle sprains for running backs can be devastating. I know it really derailed Saquon Barkley once, or maybe even 2 seasons. One for sure, though, really badly. And then Adrian Peterson, also same thing. Like, once he came back, he just wasn't the same player, even though he came back a little, probably sooner than he should have. But it takes a while to get over those high ankle sprains for running backs. So hopefully for Jonathan Taylor owners, that's the case.
Tom Brady, issues with Giselle spreading through.
Yeah. Ugh. If Tom Brady can't keep a woman happy, who can? What? That's a high standard, and she's like, me. That's rough for sure. You can tell just looking at him, he's going through it too. He's just looks like he's losing weight. He's all thin in the face. He's Tom Brady. He'll bounce back, but I'm sure he doesn't feel that way right now. So that's too bad for him. It's probably in a way that's just a distraction for the Bucs for this season, and this could derail and be too big a distraction for them to overcome, unless Tom Brady can kind of turn his focus away from that and just focus on football. But I know sometimes for some people that's a hard thing to do, to just, when you're losing your wife and you're trying to keep a positive mindset and focus and it's hard to focus, right? So that's tough for him.
Yeah, as much as we poke fun at you, Tom, we fucking love you, and we hope you rooting for you on both sides of the field, man, with your marital life and on the football field, man. Go Bucks.
Buck it up.
Buck it up.
So what else we got here?
I don't know. Let's move away from the news and get to our next segment. But before that,
All right.
what you got over there, Miller?
Yeah, we got today's drink of the week. So this week, I'm going to shout out the Andina, I think I'm saying that right, Brewing Co. in Vancouver, British Columbia. I'm trying the Apricot Pink Sea Salt Ghost. It's a limited release, but I really like this one. It's a little lighter, but it's pretty tasty. I like it. So that's my shout out for this week's beer of the week. And I think you got one there too that you wanted to give a shout out to as well.
Hell yeah. Thanks to you, we got tonight the Non-Such Blueberry Ginger Sour. And it is mighty tasty because I've had a few before.
Yeah, I got you hooked on that one, so I'm glad I let you sample it because now you like it.
I got to get a case.
Yeah, those are good ones. Ginger beer, blueberry sour.
So yeah, cheers. And yeah, let's get to the studs and duds of week 4.
Studs and duds. All right.
I mean, it feels weird to say this, but Goff and Geno Smith really had a couple good days.
Yeah, top performing quarterbacks. If you would have bet that Geno Smith and Jared Goff would be the top fantasy performers for last week, you could have made a ton of money.
They played each other, and I think they put up 93 points on the board.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, that's I don't even know what to say. Yeah, shocking.
And on to the running backs. Josh Jacobs had a big day.
Yeah, another surprise. A lot of fantasy analysts preseason were telling people to avoid Jacobs at the price that he was. He was in the quote-unquote running back dead zone. And he's paying huge dividends so far for those who believed.
Eckler, 3 total TDs.
Yeah, finally producing like the top player he was expected to be this season. This is his first really good game, but he went off.
Nick Chubb being Mr. Consistent.
Yeah, another guy that a lot of fantasy analysts faded just because he doesn't have that pass catching role in the offense. But when you're that good at running the football, it doesn't really matter. So he just keeps being, stud running back. He's got to be the best running back in the league as far as pure runner.
I would have to agree with that. I've been watching him ever since he came into the league. He's just a beast.
And he squats like 1,000,000 pounds, too. It's awesome if you've seen the videos.
Yeah, I hope the Browns sign him long term.
Yeah, they should. He fits what they do very well.
Colts are 2 for 2 in field goals tonight. This game is tied 6-6.
Real barn burner here.
And if you guys been following the cast, you know I want the Colts to win this division. So I really am begging those horsemen to, get to 500.
Funny enough, both teams tonight are horsemen. Colts and Broncos.
Yeah, it's a clash of the West.
Yeah, the clash of the horses.
But don't worry, guys. We got some good games coming this weekend, including the Monday nighter between the Raiders and the Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs blowing them out, but we'll see.
Not very bold of you, but we'll get to that later.
No, yeah. So who else we got for the studs here? Wide receivers?
Well, we got to mention Mr. Hawkinson.
Oh, yeah.
2 touchdowns.
Was ridiculous.
A part of that Detroit attack.
Right. Because Goff's got to throw to someone.
Mike Evans, 2 touchdowns, 103 yards. Jefferson, 147 yards.
Yeah, Jefferson with a nice game again, finally getting him re-involved in the offense. Took a couple of weeks because teams were figuring out how to shut him down, and so they had to adjust the scheme a bit and scheme him into better looks. So I'm glad they did that for him this past week.
Shall we get to the duds?
Let's do it. Dudes, total dudes.
I mean, I got to mention Matthew Stafford because 7.6 fantasy points is just not what you want from a Super Bowl winner.
Yeah, that's pretty weak. There were quite a few bad weeks actually last week. Lots of very average to below average performances.
Unless you were Goff or Geno Smith.
Right. Yeah, those were the outliers. Everyone else had down weeks.
Jonathan Taylor, 3.3 points. He had 20 attempts for like 40 yards, 1 catch. He rolled his ankle, but not what Jonathan Taylor fantasy owners want.
No, not what you expect from a top overall pick.
Mark Andrews, 3.5 fantasy points.
Yeah, that's probably the worst game he'll have all season. So whoever was facing him, hope you enjoyed that week off that the tight end one took.
I watched that game, Buffalo at the Ravens, and the Ravens were up 17-3, 20-3. And Buffalo came back, and yeah, a very middling, or I should say lowly, fantasy score for Mark Andrews.
Yeah, I mean, that Buffalo defense is tough. They'll probably make a lot of people have average games. Or below average.
A bunch of wide receivers had some duds. Allen Robinson, 1.7.
Oof. Ouch. He's not working out for the Rams. Maybe he's done.
I think the Rams have issues.
Yeah, that's true. That offensive line is they went all in, and that might have been the magic year, and now they're going to be paying the price, and they're going to get really bad before they get better if they don't put it together again now this year and make another run, because not going to get better before they get worse, because they are lacking all those first round picks that they gave up to acquire, Stafford, Ramsey. I mean, just those two alone, they gave up multiple first rounders. So
come on, you horsemen, get it together.
This game here, Sutton just stole a catch from Washington. They both caught it at basically the same time. He was like, "Just give it to me." And the ref fell down too. Oh man, there's a lot of calamity on that play. Oh, is this Hamler? Around the end. No, Washington again. All right, who else we got here?
This game is a fucking dud.
Yeah, 6-6. Might as well be 0-0. Basically,
if the Colts go 1-3-1, I'm just gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
They still might be in second place in the division with that record.
But the Jags are playing well, so
Yeah, the Jags look really good. I think the Jags are actually. I hate to say it, but I think they're gonna win that division. Like, there's nobody else in that division that looks as good as they do. Peterson knows how to run a team.
Way better than who was
Urban
it?
Meyer. Yeah.
Urban.
Yeah.
Not very urban of you.
No, not modern.
A few more duds. Gabe Davis, 2.3 points. I think he might be dealing with
he's still recovering from that ankle, I think. Yeah.
That happened in practice there. Devonta Smith, 3.2 points.
Yeah, rough from a good team, good offense.
McLaurin, 2.5.
Yeah, disappointing so far. And they lost Jahan Dotson too, so I don't know if that was early or late. I didn't watch that game, but I expect him to step up a little more now moving forward if Jahan Dotson is out. So maybe you McLaurin holders might get a little bump here from your man.
Brian Robinson,
right? Is he going to play this week?
He's getting practice reps.
Yeah.
He had a nice play in practice, I heard today. I didn't see any of the video, but
yeah.
Hey, man, I believe in good stories too. So
yeah. Hopefully he starts playing well and he gets in there. So
fantasy production and good stories.
Oh, wow. Russell Wilson just got destroyed on that. And DeForest Buckner just did the gritty after that sack. I've never seen a man that large gritty. That was pretty good, actually. He did a good job.
Russell Wilson was sacked at about the 25 of the Colts.
Oof, man, that was immediate. They just the DeForest Buckner just plowed the Colts have Ngakoue too.
3rd and goal for Russell Wilson here. I'm
3rd and goal
for
from the 17-yard line.
I'm hoping for a Colts stop here. Let's go.
Let's go. It's Cortland Sutton. Touchdown. Come on. Let's do it. Oh, come on, Ross. Find him. Oh, brutal.
Most likely a field goal attempt coming up.
That's let's stick with the theme.
I was joking with C-Money like maybe 20 minutes ago. It's going to be a 12-9 game.
Yeah, well.
And we're kind of getting that way.
Getting closer to the target.
So enough of the duds.
Yep.
Shall we move on to our bold?
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bold sports prediction, baby.
No. All right,
guys. We're pretty excited about our bold sports predictions this week. I'm going to go MLB since the Blue Jays are hosting that play-in series with the Mariners.
They better win that.
Mariners' first playoff appearance in, I think, 2 decades, if I remember correctly.
Really?
That
long?
Oh, and on the back of me winning both of my baseball fantasy leagues.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Miller. I feel
big.
good.
Yeah, that's big.
So I'm sticking MLB, and I think I'm kind of doubling down. I said a few weeks ago that the Jays will meet Houston. So
yep.
I'm kind of sticking with that notion. And I'm just going to say the Jays are going to sweep Seattle. So first 2 games, let's go.
Oh, it's not a single play-in? It's a 3-game?
There's 3 games scheduled, but I think they
Best
just
of
win
3.
2, and that's it.
Right. Best of 3.
Yeah, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Is it 1-1-1? How do they play that?
It's all in Toronto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well.
Yeah, dude. I actually thought about flying down there and catching a couple games. I've done that shit before.
Wow. That would be bold. That would be a bold prediction.
I got a wedding to go to tomorrow, and I got a huge concert on Saturday to go to, so it's not like I need to go see the Jays win.
Yeah, you could wait till the next series.
Well, that series against Houston, if we can get there, is going to be
that's tough.
Fireworks.
That's a tough one. Yeah, so, okay. So what are you predicting? 2-game sweep?
Whatever it takes, the Jays are taking this series, but I think they're going to do it in 2 straight.
Okay. For my bold prediction, I'm going to take my man in my Dynasty League quarterback, and I'm going to predict... Josh Allen is going to have a 40-point game this week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just think he's had a couple rougher games compared to what he's capable of, and I think this year he comes out and makes everyone remember why he's QB1, or supposed to be QB1. So I think Josh Allen, 40 points for this weekend.
So you're saying basically Josh Allen is the top fantasy provider?
I mean, you never know. Lamar, Jalen Hurts, it could be anyone, but 40 points. I mean, that would put him near, or if not at the top. So I won't say he's at the top, but he might be. But I just think big game is in store for him this week.
Yeah, that's pretty bold. Like any player that scores 40 or even close to 40 is pretty bold. So I got cheers into that, Mel.
Yeah, I mean, he's projected for 26, so 40. That's almost double. Not quite, but a lot more than what the projection is. So there you go.
Do you want to talk about the Vikes this before we head off?
We could. I think they're doing really well. They're winning games with which last year or, in previous seasons, maybe they don't win those games. Because that was kind of the hallmark for last year's team is they lost so many close games and it cost them. In the end, they didn't even make the playoffs. If they win a couple of those close ones, they would have been in. So I like that they are not playing really that well. I mean, you see glimpses of them looking good, but you can tell it's a new coaching staff. They're still figuring things out. They're still putting it together, and they're winning while they're doing that. So as long as they keep improving and keep the upward trajectory, don't lose games you shouldn't. And like this week to the Bears, they should destroy the Bears this week. I think it's a divisional game, and it's going to be probably tougher than it should be, just because that's the way it goes. But it's at home. It's the Bears. They really don't look very good this year at all. You don't know what, they don't have an identity. They're kind of lost. They have a young quarterback that's basically losing his confidence game by game because he's getting destroyed because they don't have an offensive line to protect him, and they don't have any weapons for him to throw to. Their best weapon is a small receiver who, you could lock him up with double coverage and he's not getting anything. He's not even a big guy that could maybe out-muscle or out-jump guys. He's got to rely on route running, which is fine, but when that's your only weapon in the passing game, and then your number one running back is hurt, and I mean Khalil Herbert is very good too, so that's not the end of the world there for them, but that Bears offense just doesn't have much going for it, and the Vikings are at home. They should feast. That defense, even though the defense hasn't been great, they should be able to get after it with Fields, and the offense should be able to score enough points that this shouldn't even be a close game. So there you go.
Oh yeah. Don't. Oh.
So this is our sign off. Oh, Sutton, no! Oh my goodness, that was horrible. That guy should have caught that. Give him the call. Come on, ref.
Getting back to that Minnesota Vikings talk. I didn't really watch much of that Minnesota Saints game, but I followed it very closely. Shout out to all the people that score watch if they're at work, or you can't get to the TV. You got to follow the game somehow. That's what I was doing. I'd much rather be watching that London game between a couple
sips
of good
coffee.
between
sips of coffee.
Between a couple of good NFC teams. But yeah, talking about the Vikes, I think they can handle Chicago at home pretty easily. If Green Bay handled them pretty easily, I know Minnesota can do just as much.
Boy, let's slow down on that. You can't predict because one team did this that another team should do that, because matchups dictate everything and it changes the whole dynamic of the game. So we can't just say that. But plus Aaron Rodgers just owns the Bears, and that's just a fact. So
can we all just take a moment to blow into the speaker? Okay, it didn't work. I was hoping the Denver kicker, Mr. Brandon
good from 61 yards
would miss this 61-yarder.
That's his second 60-plus yarder tonight.
It's a 9-6 game. I really hope that the Colts win 12-9 or just win by any score, because I have that Colts on my division ticket. Shout out $93,000. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a stretch, man. But hopefully it works out. Still a lot of season left.
It's a stretch, but I mean, some good things have happened in regards to the division winners on that bet. Tua got hurt. I'm not praising any injury, but I'm just saying they were out of the gate 4-0, or trying to,
pushing for 4-0.
Pushing for 4-0, and then Buffalo kind of right there now through 4 games. So
Yeah, I mean, Bridgewater is not a horrible backup, though. That's not. I almost want to say that Tua being hurt doesn't derail their season, because that's a good team. Like, overall, that Miami team is good. So, I think Bridgewater can more than hold his own as the backup there, because he's actually, I mean, other than the lefty versus righty thing, he's in my opinion, he's a pretty similar quarterback to Tua. Tua can sling it a little bit more, but even, the complaint on Tua is his arm strength, and that's kind of Teddy's thing too. Teddy is more of a timing quarterback, and hit guys in stride and let them do after the catch things, and that's kind of what Miami's strength is on offense with those receivers. So I don't think he's really a bad fit there. I think that's actually pretty much the perfect backup that they could have had in case of injury to Tua, and that has happened. So it's not as big of a death blow to them as it could be to other teams who, if they had to go to their backup, it would be devastating. So let's see how it plays out. But Buffalo, I think, is still clearly a favorite in that division. Even with a good Miami team, Buffalo is a very good team. So
that is it for this week, guys. Episode 13. We getting there. This is our goal is just to go every week, and hit the end of the year and just take it from there. Ride this season out. To all the listeners, we thank you for sticking around on this fucking journey with my boy
C Money and my boy.
Don't. So yeah, everybody, I'm gonna steal Miller's word here. Be beautiful.
Be excellent to each other.
And tune in next week on the Two Canadians Football Podcast.
Party on.
Wayne.